There's only one man who can save me now. This election.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Up News Fridays. It's the Gen Z segment. I'm filling in for Michelle as usual on Friday segment. I love this because we get to give a voice to the young Americans that are fighting for the truth, because sometimes we don't speak up, and there's a lot of us that are kind of scared to speak up. So that's why I like to do this. No filter Gen Z. That's what we're doing here. It's awesome. And we're going to get a good perspective today from another person that is a little bit on the younger side of Gen Z. But before we do that, I just want to take a quick second to tell you guys how important it is, if you're a parent, to get your children involved and teach them about what's going on in the country, because you don't want the school system just to tell them everything they need to know. When I have kids, I want to be the one that's telling my kids exactly what's going on and really be that role model for them to see how you can have discussions with people without attacking them, without it being a huge argument. Because today, we see a lot of polarization where you got to be on one side or the other, or else everyone's hating every other side. It's weird, but I think starting with this is how we change that. We talk. We start the discussion in the family, in the house. And that's why it's important to teach your kids, because when you're in a family unit like that, you can get used to having conversations, even if you do disagree with them, even if your kids disagree with you, because I know I didn't agree with my parents every time we had a conversation. So it's just important to get that. But today we are going to talk to someone that I'm really good friends with and my siblings are friends with. His name is Riley. So joining me now is Riley, a Gen Z guy that is the younger end of it, because I'm 21. I'm a little bit older in the Gen Z generation. So Riley, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Camden. I'm excited to be on here, and I'm really nervous, if I'm going to be honest.
It's okay. Don't be nervous. It's just a conversation like I was talking about. And the good thing about this is we can talk to people just like in our friend group, because a lot of people our age don't like to discuss these things. So I want to do it with you. And my first question to you, Riley, is just how do you feel about the country right now with everything going on with how people our age don't like to talk about it?
I think people my age definitely don't care about these problems as much as we should. I think in school and stuff, especially, like, we're just kind of like focusing on having a good time, not like more on education or issues in the country as much as we should.
Yeah. So that's good, though. I mean, it's good to have – you're still a kid, You got to experience the world before you really know what is going on. But as the younger end of Gen Z, what is important to you, Riley?
For me, it's probably my relationships with, like, friends and family, like, keeping those as long as, like – because I know, like, as long as our relationships are good, we can get through anything.
Yeah. So do your parents ever talk about any of these issues with you?
We have talked about some stuff with, like, I've asked, like, my mom, like, her political views and stuff. Like, we talked about, like, the thing with the abortion thing, where that whole thing, I don't really know a lot about it, actually. But, yeah, we've talked about some stuff.
Well, I like your honesty, because I there's a lot of issues I don't even know a lot about. So it's good that we get to actually say that and not just, act like we know everything, because no one knows everything. But as your age, you're 15, right?
Yes.
Okay, so at 15, what are the biggest issues that you see today in the world and in your life?
Definitely, like, especially with my generations, probably, like, our vocabulary, it's gone downhill, like, a lot compared to the past years. And even I can barely remember these past years, but I can tell it's gone a lot worse. It's bad.
Yeah, so what does that mean? Like, are you talking about the slang that Gen Z kind of uses now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Give me some examples for the people that are older watching the show.
Okay, so there's
like
Sigma.
skibbity. Sigma, yeah.
Skibbity,
those two
toilet.
words, like I feel old when I hear those words. What do those even mean?
So skibbity toilet, that's like it's it's a meme of it's basically a meme that just became really popular. It's like it's so stupid and so people think it's so funny that they just say it, and it doesn't even really mean anything. Like they're
Yeah,
just
I heard some people say it's kind of like brain rot. These things
yeah.
that the kids in your generation and ours say now.
Mhm.
So with that though, how does that like change the conversations with older people? Because I feel like even my age at 21, there's some words that I say and then my parents are like, "What?" Did that happen to you at all?
Yes, actually. So there was a point like when it was like really bad. Like I think people, kids my age, like they would just start saying it in conversation, like without even realizing it at that point, and like we other people would just have like no idea what we're talking about. And thankfully for me, I've gotten rid of my brain rot mostly.
You
I
sound
cut
like it.
down
You
on.
sound pretty smart. So, how informed are you on political issues going on?
Honestly, probably not as much as I should be. I don't really know a lot of stuff. Of course, I see stuff on the internet, but there's only so much you can learn from that.
Right,
And
because I was gonna bring up, we have grown up, especially you guys, the younger end has grown up with social media. So everything we're doing, we're getting information all day long from our phones, from even like Instagram and all these TikTok, all these apps that are telling us different views. Has that? Do you think that influences like what you think about certain things?
definitely like especially with like my younger siblings, like I can definitely tell like when they see something on like TikTok or something, it definitely influences like their beliefs or like the way they act or something. Like it
Yeah, because
definitely influences.
I even have some younger siblings that are on these social media apps that know things that I'm like, how do you know that at such a young age? You know, do you think there's some line that has to be drawn with like what information is getting to the younger kids?
Definitely, yeah. So there's like a line. There's like of course there's like the funny stuff like the memes and all that, all
Hmm.
the brain rot. That's and then there's like the more adult stuff that kids can see on these apps and stuff. Like it's bad.
Yeah, it is. And so another question about the political issues: how much do you care? Because I mean, at 15, it's the world is changing for you. You're just growing up, kind of. How much do you care about these things?
Again, probably not as much as I should. Of course, I don't really know a lot about the matter, but I definitely care a little bit because it's like it's where I live. It's where I grow up, and it
Right.
definitely affects me. So I probably should
Yeah,
care
and
more.
the reason why I ask is because I feel like as I'm kind of a leader in this generation because I'm a little bit older, and I feel like we have to look at the future because this is what the country is going to be ours soon. So we have to start to think about these things that might change how we raise our kids one day, or how the world's going to be when we're older. So just thinking about that, what can we do in our generation to make a mark in the world since we're going to be the ones that take it over not that long from now?
I'd say definitely like we gotta like start being smart about it, start learning from our mistakes, because if you
Mhm.
like, I think everybody's heard of this quote, but like if you don't like learn from the past, you'll repeat it. I
Yeah.
probably butchered that quote, but um, yeah,
No, that's
I
good.
think
Go ahead.
learn from our mistakes. It's a big thing, definitely.
Yeah,
So,
if
like
if you don't learn
grow
from
up.
history, then it's doomed to repeat itself. I think that's the quote. That you got it. It's really true because even in school, when we're learning, I'm sure you're learning history right now. There are things that have happened in the country that just happen again because we don't learn from it, especially with presidents. Because sometimes the leader of the country comes in, like we've seen in the last 4 years, and tries to undo everything that the president before did. Do you see a difference in the president of your life right now, compared to the one before, since you were pretty young last time around?
Honestly, I don't really remember growing up with any other president. I mean, I know of course Obama, but like I don't have the best memory, so I can't
I mean, you were
remember
young
all
back then, though, so that's the point I'm trying to get at is the younger generation right now. For parents, they have to remember when they're talking to their kids that they don't know all these things that the adults do. So when they talk to them and raise them, they got to be teaching them certain things. And as you grow up, I'm sure you're going to learn more. But is there anything about the current candidates that you know about at all right now? I know you have a Trump hat. You told me that.
that. So I know their names. I'm not really informed on like their policies or whatever.
So it's
I
probably
know
a
my
big
mom.
influence from your parents then, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think my mom is like definitely a big Trump supporter, and I kind of just draw from that, honestly.
Got it. So that does show how important the parents and the role models in our life are, because they do shape our opinions on certain things. Riley, we're going to take a quick break, and for you guys watching, we're going to take a break. Well, but I want to keep you on, so stay here, and we'll be right back. Listen to this short message.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is General Mike Flynn, and I'm here to talk about a limited time offer of subscriptions to Patriot.tv and how you can become a member of our Patriot Defenders subscription club and become a member of Patriot.tv. Really, it's America's network. I call it the home of truth. And you can do that for only $9.99 a month. It's a great deal by itself, but what I'm going to walk you through here in these next few seconds is a couple of package deals that we have that are unbelievable. The next membership was the annual membership at $99 that you can save. Right away, you save $20 if you come in at the annual subscription rate. The best deal that I think that people ought to seriously consider is the 2-year membership at $159. And it includes a special edition of my recently released documentary, Flynn, Deliver the Truth, Whatever the Cost. So along with the 2-year membership, the 2-year subscription will send you a DVD combo of the film, plus an option to stream the movie online, as well as exclusive interviews of Tucker Carlson, Devin Nunes, and myself. So go to the home of truth, right? Go to Patriot.tv today, sign up, seriously consider the 2-year subscription rate. It's an unbelievable savings. I think it's a total savings of about $70 from just signing up on a monthly or a annual basis. So thank you very much for your support. Patriot.tv is America's new network. Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Up News on Patriot TV, guys. So we were just talking with Riley about, the current world growing up. If you're watching and you have kids, we're growing up in these uncertain times. Everything's changing around us all the time during this, the last 8 years, even in my life. I was so much younger and didn't know a lot. And now, a few years later, I'm starting to learn for myself, and my parents have played a big role in that as well. So Riley, I want to ask you about the current world we live in. It is crazy and it's changing, like I just said, but what keeps you sane in uncertain and crazy times when sometimes everything we hear is just crazy?
So a big thing is definitely like video games. I love video games. Yeah, of course. Everyone likes video games, but
Oh yeah.
family and friends, keeping connections with them, making sure like we're all in this together, That's family and friends is our connection with each other.
Yeah. Where do you get your friend groups right now?
Friend groups, it's of course summer. I haven't started school yet, so I'm not really like I don't have any real life friends. Like
Yeah, but even
right now,
like
but-
my sister, my younger sister. How did you guys meet? How are you meeting friends in the world right now?
Video games mostly. Like I play a lot of multiplayer video games. Like you just like kind of meet people, and sometimes you'll just like become more friends within other people. So I just meet people.
Because people that aren't in our generation, it's harder to understand, how that all works. Because when they grew up, it was so different. Now you can talk to people. I mean, FaceTime is practically like you're in person right there. There's apps like Discord and things where you're literally pretty much in the same room, just across a screen. So has that changed, how you hang out with friends in the world right now? Because sometimes, even since COVID, the world's changed a lot. Have you gotten more friends through that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a lot easier to make friends like over video games and stuff. Over the long distances, it's a lot easier than in person. But yeah, I have made a lot. I think more friends in online stuff like that.
Yeah, and what comes with that though is a risk, because there could be some, bad people. We know there's bad people in the world, but there could be bad people on these games. How do you know when someone is a real person like they're saying they are when you're playing the games?
So once you do it for a while, I mean, of course, you get like a kind of vibe for people,
Mm,
and then like you get to know them, of course, and it's the internet, and you don't like you're not really in person. So like if you encounter a bad person, I mean, like there's a lot of stuff you can do. You just like stop like talking to them or just like block them entirely. Like it's whole
true.
thing.
We should take a lesson out of that in the social media world we grow up in, because now there's haters all the time. Of course, there's people that don't like you, but the bigger reminder is we don't have to listen to them. Like if someone is just saying dumb comments, you don't. It's your choice. It's up to you what you do about it. So to switch gears a little bit, in the country right now, in America, do you like living here? I know sounds like there's a lot of issues, but from what you've experienced growing up, do you like living in America?
From what I've experienced so far, I mean, yeah, I love living here. I mean, I've been to other places. I think it's definitely a different lifestyle like around America, but yeah, I love living here.
Where else have you been?
I've been to Oklahoma. I think I've been like entire East Coast, really.
Okay.
A lot
So
of-
so it seems like right now there's a lot of chaos in other countries, and even like we hear about it here too. Do you know anything about any of the war rumors and all the stuff going on like that at your age?
Um, I haven't heard anything recently. I know there was like the Ukraine and Russia thing a while back, but more recently, no. I know there's probably something. I don't really know anything, but my dad, he's in the army. He's deployed to
Oh wow.
Korea right now. So I mean, if they're deploying people to South Korea, I don't know. There's probably might be something going on there.
Wow. Well, I
I
want to say, tell your dad that we all say from here, at Patriot TV, thank you for your service. Have you learned anything about, any of that stuff through him because deployed?
I think if something like serious was going on, like a big war or something, I think I would definitely know. Because I talk to him a lot. I mean, I FaceTime like almost every day, um, and he hasn't really told me anything. So not yet so
Yeah.
far.
Okay. I'm sure as you grow up, you'll learn more. But I love how, technology does seem crazy sometimes, but it's awesome that you get to literally see and talk to your dad through FaceTime. And that makes a big difference when he's actually completely somewhere else serving the country. It's amazing that we get to still do that through FaceTime. So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, Riley,
It's a
let me ask you one question about school, because school is where you do learn a lot of the stuff as you grow up. But have you learned anything about the history and the like modern history about the country through school classes and stuff?
It might have just been like the classes I've been taking, but I haven't really learned much U.S. history, like especially modern stuff. I mean, of course, we learned like American Revolution, but that's way back, and then no, we haven't really learned a lot of modern stuff going on
Let me
now.
ask you this. Has there been anything that is political that's come up? Because I know for my younger siblings, they're homeschooled, and my mom had to take out some stuff from the curriculum that was about gender theory and critical race theory, which were basically, I'll explain to you, things that are trying to change what they believe on about themselves. They're teaching them not directly, but through these curriculums, they're teaching them that they are just inherently racist if they're white, or that they can change their gender, just be fluid with it. Have you came across anything like that where you live?
Personally, no, I haven't seen a lot of that. Teachers over here where I live, it's they're like they stick to the correct curriculum, I guess. I don't
Good.
know what's going on, but no, I haven't really encountered anything like that, thankfully.
Good, because I know it does go on, and it's getting worse, but it's really relieving to hear that some schools are still sticking to math, science, and English, because that's what we should be learning. Let me ask you about your personal dreams. What is your dream as you grow up? What do you want to do when you're older?
So me, I am a band kid, definitely. I really want to like go around the world and play music. I love marching band too.
Wow.
I'd like to do that like as I get older, maybe through college.
That's awesome. I know that your nickname, from what I hear from my sister, is Sax because you play the saxophone, right?
Yes, I play
That is awesome.
play saxophone.
That's great. So what do you think? And it's probably a good way that you get rid of stress. You get to do something you enjoy. What do you think Gen Z typically does when they have stress come up?
A lot of Gen Z, I think anger has become a big problem. Like in my school, definitely there's maybe it's just my school specifically, but there's a lot of fights. Definitely, there's a lot of fights going on. If anyone's
Wow.
ever angry, they just kind of go at it,
Interesting.
I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely getting heated everywhere right now. Just from conversations, it gets taken way farther than it used to be taken just from saying something that you think. So I want to take a quick break again, one more break. But before we go back, I want to ask you one more question because I want to know your opinion on what changes you'd like to see in the world as a 15-year-old.
Changes in the world. I think, of course, I don't really know a lot about this stuff, so I'll probably just give like the normal answer everyone gives. A lot like no, a lot, I don't like all the fighting and stuff. Kind of like the peace thing. I don't know a lot about this stuff, so that's my answer. Or like peace, I guess.
That's good. Everyone should definitely rally around that as well. But thank you so much for coming, Riley. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be on here.
Yeah, awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys, and we'll see you when we come back.
Looks like you've been sleeping well,
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
and you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
Welcome back to No Filter Gen Z on Up News. We were just talking with Riley. I just want to say thank you for coming on. But we were talking about how the younger generation sees the world right now. And from him, I learned that there's a lot of things that the parents have to be, influencing their kids to learn about. Because if you're not teaching them as a parent, someone else probably is. And that's where it gets tricky because when chaos, as we grow up, chaos is going to come up. And if they go into the world and don't have that solid foundation in their family, then they're going to pick up on things everywhere they go. And I think that's one of the issues with Gen Z is a lot of us, 50% of marriages end in divorce now. That's kind of scary for the kids that are growing up with one parent. Because then if you go out in the world, you only have one parent or you're switching back and forth from houses, it gets tricky and it gets kind of hard to have that solid base. So that's just a word from what I learned from Riley. But in other news, what's going on in the country with Kamala Harris lately and Trump? There's the two candidates that we've gotten to somehow. One was voted by us as the RNC, but the other side just kind of picked her to be the the nominee somehow. So I want to encourage all the younger people watching, the Gen Z, my generation, to look into the policies that each of these candidates have over just what they say. Because here's what I've learned from the elections that I grew up watching, and especially already this one. Both candidates are going to go back and forth saying things about each other. It's going to get nasty, it's going to get dirty, and there's going to be things that are gross to hear from each side. That's kind of what happens with politics. It gets pretty messy. But one thing that stays the same, if you look at what they really believe, is policy. Trump has been very clear on what he wants to do when he becomes president again. He even came back because he saw that Biden did such a bad job with the all the issues. I mean, if you look at the economy now from the past 4 years from when Trump was in office and the peace around the world, those two things are the most important to me. And we've seen such a drastic change. But Trump is very solid on his policy. He wants to seal the border. He wants to get a booming economy back. And he wants no taxes on tips. But if you see Kamala's policies, she's changing now that the election's getting closer. She's starting to say that, now she's preaching no taxes on tips after they saw the success that Trump got with it. So just pay attention to what these candidates really believe in, because as it gets closer and closer to this election, you're going to see some changes from one side, and I've already seen it happen. But if you notice what the actual policies were from the whole Biden administration with Kamala as the vice president, it was very radical. It was very changey. They wanted to change almost everything that there was from Trump's administration. But if you pay attention from now till then, you'll see Kamala is as radical as she was back then, but she knows she can't win that way. And they know that. So if you think how they're thinking, just get into the minds of the strategists and the campaign people on Kamala's side, they're going to start thinking about, if we're not going to be able to beat Trump with how radical we are, we're going to have to change our policies in the public eye a little bit to match what the voters want. And that's what every politician does. They wait till the election comes around, and then they get way more moderate to sway the voters towards them. But if you look at Trump's side, like I said, he keeps and does exactly what he says. That's why I love Trump. And I'm not afraid to say that. A lot of people now will hate you just because you support one candidate. I'm not like that. You can vote for whoever you want. You're still a person, I'm still a person. But what I see with Trump is he is as real as it gets. Everyone knows everything about him, and that's why he's so good. Because if he's gonna tell the truth, because he doesn't care what the world says. They already make up all the lies about him, and he's still fighting for the country. It's sad to see what's actually happening, because now if you look at Google, just a few weeks after Trump almost got killed, they're trying to erase the assassination attempt from all the search. And that's kind of sad, because there's one side that's clearly more honest. There's one side that's clearly trying to see what's really going on, and there's one side that's trying to push their agenda. And that's what I'm scared of in this election. And I'm not afraid, but I'm just scared of Kamala's strategies to overcome this whole thing that's really going on. Is big tech, her issues, make it more moderate, and then that's what's going to happen. So remember that, even if you're a younger person, look at the policies, because you might just see the name and think, oh, he's a bad person, she's a bad person. Look at what they're trying to do. But thank you guys so much for coming to this episode of No Filter Gen Z. We are going to be back next week, Fridays, always on Up News at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And then if you miss the episode, don't forget, we're on YouTube at 6 p.m. every Friday on No Filter Gen Z. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Camden, and have a great day.